Wow, we only did 5 lessons? I can't remember that. Okay.
Lesson 1's long though, so
Okay.
I think it took us 2 days. Yeah. Lesson 1 and lesson 4. We had it split into 2 days. So it's 7 teaching days, even though it's only 5 lessons. Plus the test. Also, we didn't do a common assessment with this one, so I want to make sure we write one and add it in. So we need to figure out where have we got enough information that we can have a common assessment with the material, and where can we pull some like leaf-like questions with this. Before we start this, I emailed you the booklet that I made for natural selection. You saw that?
Mm-hmm. Which was funny because I was looking at booklets and you guys pulled the same questions I was gonna pull, so funny.
Well, Brooke asked me in first block if I have a booklet for this test. And I was like, no I don't, but I can make one. And I plan on posting it as homework so they can work on it tomorrow after we finish lesson 6.
Well, my honors class yesterday asked where their booklet was so they could study for the quiz today. I was like, no.
The learning
booklet-
tracker is your
yeah.
quiz study.
I was like, no, you don't need a booklet to pass this quiz. Which in all honesty, because I was kind of scoring them while they worked on the poster, and then I would walk around and check to see where they were and what
Mine were bad.
Mine were good. My average was like an 88. Like, is it too easy?
My average was an 84. And if my academic average was like a 78.
Okay, all of mine took it and literally
And
was a 70,
Honors,
78, and then honors. Going up to
honors was a
88.
90-30.
Yeah. Only had one kid not make 100 in honors class, which I thought was crazy.
I'm crazy. They're getting it.
Well, I think it's because we're applying natural selection to each of those. And I kind of have to, so I've been kind of doing the trait variation, I think we've all been doing that during it. So like when they got to this, they're like, oh.
Just hopefully they can transfer that onto something totally new.
Yeah.
And that's why I went in at the end of that booklet, like all the scenario type questions at the end, I added, like I did a AI generator to,
I know. I have floss if you need it.
it's fine, it's stuck, it was out, it was, like the skin of the zucchini
yeah.
was like stuck to it, not in it. No, I AI generated all the questions at the end, like I asked ChatGPT to, I was like, scenario, like I asked for natural selection questions, but it was giving me like genetic drift and like those type of things, I'm like, that's not what I need. So it had like one question I was like, when I was like, give me more questions like number 1, and it gave me some more like that. So I was like, first time I had tried that, like, so if you like a question, but you don't like the rest, like.
Okay, try that. I wish they would give us like
Tips and tools for
or more of the paid version, so I feel like it would do more.
How much is the paid version? Is that something we can look
I don't know,
into?
because if I use it too long, it tells me I'm timed out for today.
Yeah.
Like I've used it too much for today, so and I'm like, it's because I had to ask it to edit and like revise and do this. Let me do this.
Is it something that's worth even just one of us?
That's what I'm saying, because then we could just log in and it just be for all 3 of us.
Yeah,
But the thing is, like, if you use it for something else, it bookmarks like all the things on
everything,
the
yeah.
side.
No, but I'm like, if one of us become like the AI
The
person.
The plus is $20 a month.
Oh, a monthly thing.
Or you could do, that's the plus, it says user faster response time, priority access to new features, unlimited message requests. Access to more advanced models.
Do they have a year price, or is it just monthly? I was wondering if like we could use like Class Wallet or something like that.
Oh, that's in yen, okay, I was like, there is a business one, but I don't,
That's probably for like multiple sites, multiple sites. Oh well.
it says its new subscription costs less than $5, but I don't know. What is another chat GPT? Isn't there another one?
Another AI? I don't know. So let's look at kind of lesson one.
Open. Okay, lesson one, sorry. I went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Alright, that's lesson 5. Okay, I'm in lesson 1. I'm gonna look at the student handout to see what we.
So lesson one, we're looking at just kind of like all the background
Yeah.
information to start our unit. And then we have the part one, just kind of explore the park. We watch the video of the bears.
Yeah, cause then they look at that you see on the map where they usually go, that's where it is, yeah, and then. I forgot how long this was.
We talk about the price. And part two.
This is where they do that, how do we do this timeline again? I don't know if you're there yet, but it's on page 2, or 3, that one, how did we do?
So this one goes with the
Is that
the data
data
exploration. So it's this.
Okay.
So it's just a data exploration. So is this the same timeline? 48 to 22?
It's 1920 to 2020. These organizers to record notices, so what changes are happening to impact the bears,
So we see that temperature is increasing,
from, yeah, it's warmer during what time period did you say? Like when it gets to
and
the
then
80s, the ice is declining,
so the ice is breaking
or like
up
breaking
sooner.
apart, yes. Yes.
Breaking apart sooner. So it's like recording this information onto this timeline.
I can't remember how we did that yet, I think it's on I made a teacher copy.
I kind of let them do it on their own.
Okay,
And some kids like drew the lines, like showing that this was going up and this was going down. Some kids just put like the numbers, like it was this number here,
Yeah.
this number here, this number. I'll let them do it kind of
However
however
they
they
wanna
want,
do it.
whatever made sense in their brain, that's all, I'll let them do it. I didn't like have a set way. For those that were struggling, I think I did model it after they had some time to work on it, and, why is this in my weight today?
I don't know, is this desk move different?
I don't know.
Yes, it was a,
So. I kinda let them, with those, I did model it like, but I let them try it first, so some kids had already started it, and then I kinda modeled, with it. Then we're looking at vegetation growth, and they're adding to like these maps with that data too, like with this data. So like where
did you have them color in like where vegetation was?
Yeah, so like this is where vegetation is located, like around there.
Yeah, unless I,
And then they read about,
each of the 3 different types of beers, right? And then we make our timeline.
yes.
I think
So that's this one.
Yeah.
Do we wanna change this one? Cause I feel like this is where my kids got a hot mess.
I feel like they just felt,
Like it was,
yeah.
they didn't know what to do, and then
Exactly.
what was needed was not what they did. I felt like I gave more second copies of this paper out last time than so I had to like reprint by the end of the day. Cause this is what mine looks like,
Yeah.
but that's not what they were getting. So I feel like we need to maybe add to or modify this part to like break it down that's there. So it says, which adaptations need to live in different parts? What are key changes between the bears? How may the changes learned about impact the bears? So I feel like we need to actually have these readings to be more key tailored, because we looked at reproduction, thinning and hibernation, and diet. Like that's what we focused on when the readings, whenever I put my model together. Do you wanna go
Yeah.
grab yours to see if that's what you did?
I think I came and talked to you about it because I remember I was lost on my brain wasn't working on trying to figure out the timeline. I'm bringing my big old notebook. Both these units. Whew, I got it. Lesson 1. Yeah, so I asked you. So reproduction, diet, denning, and hibernation, because I was like, I was putting everything.
Yeah.
So, and I put at the bottom what all bears were doing.
I did too. So,
And then I added like what it does denning mean, what does hibernation mean at the bottom, so that when I did look at it, when I looked at what does denning mean, that's not when they're hibernating yet. They're trying to find a place
They're
for
in a
shelter.
shelter.
Yeah. And then hibernation is when they actually don't, or they're conserving energy.
deep sleep.
Yeah.
Whenever-
Live off body fat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did the same thing you did.
So, this is the reading. So the reading's broken up into those 3 different things. So like the readings are diet, denning and hibernation, and reproduction. And I think we had the group's jigsaw at this point. And
Because they were supposed to share the breeding. But like, I feel like the breeding one is a longer reading, but they didn't need that much information from it, right? We just wanted to know when they bred. was the main difference, right? Because the polar bear only has a short time to breed, whereas the brown bear and the black bear have a longer time, and it's
And
more.
then the birth and the number of cubs.
I did not do that. Okay.
That's the only thing I have.
Oh, I have cubs at the end. Yeah, I say how many cubs are born. Because I think they're all born in what, January?
So I have polar bears start November to January.
Yep, cubs born, yeah, November to January.
And then
I have
brown
January.
and black bears are January, February.
Okay. Yep, that's what I have.
And black bears can have more cubs.
So, is that how we do it? So, how you explained it, it helped my kids when I highlighted them like this too. So going over that with them helped. So they actually highlighted all, they color coded with colored pencils from the box. And that they're like, okay, so that makes sense. Because they didn't know when spring, their summer.
So we need to make sure we do that before
That's
we
what
start.
I did before we started. Because I let them try to figure it out. But I even wrote like winter above it. I used blue for winter and then spring green because that's when flowers go. I did summer as red because it's, I don't know, I picked colors that made sense to,
Yeah, they were really.
yeah.
So like, when I did my annotations, I had put there, before starting, identify seasons, and I had circled
Okay,
that.
so that, I think that's something we
And then they build a consensus, so. Pay attention to reproduction, denning, and hibernation, diet of the three bears, timeline aspect of data, so make sure they're paying attention and it has the timeline at the top. That's what I have on my annotation.
there's no way we can reorganize this because there's not gonna be a way for them to see who overlaps and who doesn't. That's the
So
problem.
what I'm thinking is if we take this off,
Yeah.
okay? If we take this off and then make a thing say
Like with that-
all bears
Yeah.
and talk about diet, talk about breeding, like kind of add another line here, but have it like three separate. So all bears denning, all bears diet, all bears breeding, and then have the definitions of denning and hibernation here.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking. The breeding characteristics of all bears.
Like males find females by scent, pregnant for 7 months and give birth. That kind of stuff.
So made with different partners, so same litter may
Yeah.
have different fathers, like that kind of thing. And then I'm gonna do, diet. Characteristics for all bears.
Yeah. Well, they all eat different things, though, don't they? So polar bears mainly eat seals, whereas the brown bear, I put mainly eats the plants, right? They actually dig up roots. They could eat a deer, a moose, a beaver, but they usually eat the plants. And then the black bear usually,
The only thing I had for all bears was they eat seasonally and the diet changes based on availability.
okay.
That's the only thing I had at the bottom for that. Do you think and we need that one?
I don't know. Did the diet matter that much later? Because I feel like we mainly zoomed in on who ate plants and who didn't. Oh yeah, this was my original one. Look at how horrible that was. In case you want to see it, it's horrible. Beginning, after talking to Rebecca, imagine that. This is what the kids look like too. It was horrible. And then talking to Rebecca, imagine that. Lovely.
So that's a,
I was like, maybe I can categorize them, so I didn't know. That-
She wasn't paying attention to mine, I thought either.
I was trying. I wasn't successful.
activity.
I was doing what the kids would do, so now I know how the kids are gonna think, so now I can walk around and fix it.
So that's good.
Yes, but
I mean, that's good to know how the kids are gonna operate so that you'll know. I mean,
I'm just one big kid, I realize that, you know? I get fixed.
yeah, but you identified misconceptions.
Yes.
Right there.
Cause it said like breed march.
She did. She identified misconceptions that kids are gonna have. That way you can close gaps in real time with your targeted interventions.
All those big fancy words like,
I just don't know if there's enough room.
see, and this is all I put for that one, like, I don't even like how I did that. I'm doing better on the second time around, that's all I got.
Well,
I feel like I'm doing better the second time
growth, that's
around.
all we can ask for.
I'm actually anticipating, like, oh yeah, this is what happens.
So we moved from rats to polar bears.
This is our second,
This is
the next
five.
unit. Yes, so like, after we've closed natural selection, this is our common ancestry.
It still uses some
Yeah.
natural selection stuff, like it's still evolution, so it still has some of those aspects, but it's looking at more at common ancestry and how they got to the different bears. So do you
So
think this?
now I need to make a note on this page, because this page is not what we just discussed, so I need I put, again, I think we were all done by the end of this semester, and I mean, I was barely awake. I was still getting 4 hours of sleep, okay? So tundra, no, I was sleeping better than tundra in the woodlands. That's all I put on that one.
That's all that you really needed to know.
And so I didn't even shade that in green though. So I'm about to put a sticky note and be like, need to shade in. Now that we discussed it.
So, do you think this is it? It's the
Yeah.
look we're looking for?
Yes. Shade in the vegetation. And that's it for, no, we still got more.
So then it goes to,
What is happening to the, this is when we look at what, all the bears.
that's when we get all of
The
those
slips.
slips of paper.
And
Um,
last time, didn't we give one out per,
like table partner.
Yeah.
And then they kind of said what question they could use to,
they think it goes with?
yeah, so part 4,
What is happening to the floor? We had an idea for this one. We had an idea to change it up. I swear we did, but I don't remember what we decided on. Or what you had was you passed it out to each table partner, discuss with them. After you let them discuss,
So,
then we brought it
which-
to the board.
so I did which area does your quote add information to? So does it add to number 1, 2, 3, or 4, or multiple ones? And then you had to like put your information under that question.
I wonder if there's a way, since, what does our slide look like for this? Is there, like, did it have a category? Cause I wonder if we could do, like, how you have the chart paper? And have them type them out bigger? Possibly laminate them and see which one that they would put it up there, and then as a class, we go over, do we think that this fits in this category, this fits in that category?
Oh, I like that, I like that. So
Kinda like how you did your,
instead of having it like this, have it like a this way chart,
yeah,
and they can kind of like 4. So what is happening to the population? What is happening to the ice?
cause number 4 is bringing it all back together, I believe, so yeah.
Census
then-
data. So this is what would be our categories, I guess would be the thing.
So it's asking just about bear populations. And it's asking what is happening just to the ice. And then we're comparing what we're reading to what's happening on Wapusk. That's how I pronounce that. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it.
I don't remember. I always go and look at myself before.
I think it also says it in one of the videos too, so.
Yeah.
We put ice is not forming there. The ice is very thin and a lot of wind. Ice not fusing together anymore is what's happening. But we didn't put if they're the same or different. It had nothing.
Yeah.
Where is this?
So the comment I had on the bottom of this is, there are 35 quotes provided. They're organized in the order of relevance, starting with the most relevant. The first 12 quotes are appropriate for smaller classes.
And we got rid of them. We got rid of
we
us,
only
right?
kept, I think, 12.
Because there was how many?
35. So I think we went down to 12 and let them work as table partners.
Yes.
But I think if we do like you said, and if we make categories,
I'm even trying to find this in here.
so where are you at in lesson 2, like the,
Like the lesson 1 where it tells us like, all, I wanted to see what it wanted
so
us
it's
to.
on wherever they talked about slide X,
Slide X, okay.
which is around
That's
part
slide
8,
R.
9, 10.
Got slide T. Oh, here it goes. The 35 quotes are provided. This is, because this is the and because the reason why is it's easy for us to understand. Remember that weird language?
Yeah.
And the kids are like,
It didn't get translated, like the translations aren't word for word to English.
Is that lesson 6?
This is lesson 1 of
One on
lesson 5.
common
Unit
ancestry.
5.
Unit 5.
Huh?
E5?
Unit 5, lesson 1. The polar bear unit, the ones you gave me.
So the ones that I'm getting, it says for the same, I was just seeing what was, so the sea ice is changing, it's freezing later, melting earlier. That's not even in any of mine that I had written down. For that one.
Somewhere I feel like I had notes that like.
I have notes on here.
Number 1 goes here, number 2 goes
Oh, I do
here.
2, 4, and 5 I have as number 3.
Okay,
So I wrote down the number and what it said. So it says ice is
here's
not
one.
forming. So I guess they were supposed to realize ice is more dangerous. It piles up or splits up. The brown and polar bears are seen together occasionally here. Polar bears eat seals in both locations.
some of mine I had like in 2 locations though, so if we like, they
I
talk
did
about
2 and 2, yes.
bear and ice. So maybe it could be a Venn diagram. So bears only, ice only, bears and ice,
Yeah,
and then miscellaneous.
yeah,
And then that could be our 4 areas.
I like that. Because I forgot, yeah, because some of them are really long.
Yeah.
And so they had to, I think that's what we did. They have to pick out from their reading what is the most important. So I guess if we have that on the board, we could write it in, like if we blow up a poster, because I forgot, they weren't just a slip that only said, you're right. Because in number 2, it's talking about ice not forming, it's talking about temperatures warming, and that polar bears are stuck on land longer. So number 2 had a lot.
Yeah. So like this is number 1, this is number 2.
Yeah, so it had a lot that I thought.
And then some of them, when you get to the end.
It kind of makes me want to fix some of the language though, because they
Yeah, but
yeah, they
they need to see original sources because they
Yeah.
may get original sources whenever they look at them later. Like data later.
And then number 4, I had on all 3. So what I did what you did. So I had them read it, discuss with their partner, okay, what do you think is the most important? And what I need to do is cut out slips for each class because they can underline what they think is important. So then they don't have to go back and try to find it or highlight it with a highlighter. And then we discuss it as a class. So this one took a while. This is the part that really, really took.
Okay. So we're thinking of maybe making strips with table partners. To annotate. A graphic to add strips to.
Yeah, I mean, that's easy for us to blow up on the picture maybe.
And it
we
would just have to be
write-
4 columns, like ice and polar bears, and then polar bears. And then you can even have them like highlight, like if it's talking about ice, everybody highlight ice in blue. Everybody highlight polar bears in pink. Any additional important information in green, because we already have those highlighters for our CERs. And, that way we can put it in its most relevant place on the board.
Yeah, I like
I
that.
like that, I like that. And I think we already have it stripped.
We do somewhere, I think we did it, because we cut it from that. Yes.
Maybe I just cut this paper up.
That's what we did. You're right. That's exactly what we did.
But we can put this in like a table
Yeah.
to make it a little bit easier to cut. And then we can make a key. And I know whenever I was handing out quotes, like I knew my kids that had
Yeah.
lower levels, I
I
gave
gave them
them
the
the shorter
easier,
ones, the
yeah.
easier ones. Those that were stronger students, or at least one of the two were stronger, I gave them all a longer one. So
That's what I did with the rat reading, because I knew my higher level kids from the last, or this unit that we're in, are gonna be able to get the rat mutation and the others wouldn't. So it actually worked out almost my kids in that, so I don't have to worry about them.
Yeah. So add graphic to add strips to as a class. And,
Kids are investigating
yeah.
Oh, are you wanting to know where we are
right
in
now.
this guy?
Investigating.
We're on page 10.
I think I found us.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
on, I'm looking at so we're in
I'm
day
on page
2.
25. With this. So I'm in the ice
the
conditions, yeah, so
overview?
this, well, technically, yeah, it starts on page 21, yes. So to investigate the knowledge about polar bears, and it kind of gives you that whole synopsis. I've been looking
I
at the
see it.
questions, yeah.
Alright, so I think our best bet right now would be to make those documents.
Yeah.
Or do you wanna finish with the whole lesson and see what else?
I think the rest, if this was a video,
So we need a, we're gonna change this setup.
so are we gonna do a chart or a Venn diagram on there?
Well, a Venn diagram would work if we
If
did
we did the
ice
three-
bears, that, but then if you have extra information, where do we put that?
Could you put it at the bottom, do a square at the bottom for
Okay.
extra information? Like that can't fit in any of those
Okay.
category, I don't know, cause if we do ice bears,
And then sometimes I find like circle, I might do like still do a square Venn diagram
Uh-huh.
kind of thing. So, cause I find like if you have that middle circle, it's like so hard to put data in.
Oh, yeah.
So like you can have ice only, bears only, ice and bears, like for the strip.
Uh-huh.
But when they're putting notes, that strip can be divided into 2 parts. So what part of your strip do we need to put under ice? Let's write that here. What part of your strip do we need to put under bears? Put that here. So their graphic probably only needs 3.
yeah.
Bears, ice, and then miscellaneous.
Yeah.
And then our graphic is gonna need the Venn diagram with the extra.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Alright, and then when we get to part 5,
You're not starting this Friday, right?
no, I'm sorry, Monday.
Okay, so if we needed to like finish making it, we can do it tomorrow.
Yeah. And then, part 5,
I don't remember this video, I put no notes, so I'm looking real good right now. Convergent, divergent, island group, seasonal ice, that's just like what's happening, and then the effect of the polar bear. Convergent, ice piles up on top of each other, divergent, they move away from each other. Seasonal, it like told them each
Yeah.
thing in the video, if I remember. But I think they really only need seasonal ice. Oh, I just put the ones that I knew I was gonna mess up.
And then they start their models.
And then question, were we still doing the, this is, cause on the one on there, on our handout, on here, it has that teeny tiny this, yes, are we trying to do the model on page 6 that you have? Or are we letting, okay, so, what am I on, modified? Did you see the lesson 1 student handout modified? The back of that one? That's the one I clicked on, my bad. Is that for lower level classes? Okay, that's, never mind, okay. Okay, sorry, I didn't even look at that. He basically just, instead of having them divide it, he went on ahead and divided it, put land, ice, water, and then polar bear range at the bottom.
This might be his 4th block.
Is he editing it right now, or did he make it last
It
semester?
says October
Oh,
21st,
yeah.
so he's not editing right now.
Okay. Cause I like them trying to figure it out.
But you know, he's struggling with
Yeah.
that 4th block being so low level, so having them this year
Would
before
help
they go
start
to
it out,
their
yeah.
learning tracker and have to figure it out.
So I think I helped them divide it, and I put seasonal ice, permanent ice, and then I gave present day and future, and then I showed them that they needed to show me the difference.
Yeah.
But this is our model, correct? For the whole unit, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So for my lower levels,
So
again, I'll probably have them tell
I'll-
me what I should do, and then,
Well, I think what I
Ask
did,
them.
and whenever I did it, because I was looking back there, that I let them use, which one, where am I? This one as like a rough draft,
yeah.
and then we kind of like talked about it before they went to their actual learning tracker, and I kind of divided it up how Mitch had done it. So I
Okay.
didn't think about it for a little while before I was like, what do y'all think about this layout, kind of thing.
Got it, makes sense. I didn't realize I clicked on his, or the modified version, I just clicked on it.
And I think if I'm lucky, I saved one.
I think I saved mine from, I always save my learning card tracker, but I don't. This binder needs some help right now, it's the one I
Nope, didn't save one.
keep taking home and say I'm
Well,
gonna work.
some of my units I kept like that, like at the end I folded it up and stuck it in there to like remind myself of what it
No.
was supposed to look at.
Oh, it's right here, how do we represent it? They have it in the,
In the,
yeah, in lesson 1, it's on the side, it's on the unit storyline, if you look at
Okay.
that, that's,
so they have an example in the units.
yeah, and we edit it later.
Yeah, it's when we go back to and add where the bears are at, how their interaction. We put the seals on the ice versus the seals in the water.
Yes, at one point we did,
Yeah.
the permanent ice, yeah.
Alright, so updating part 4. Do you wanna work on making the strips for the students in like a table format so we can cut them out easier? I'll work on formatting this to be vertical with the Venn diagram and additional information, and then if I finish that, I can do the poster graphic PDF too first.
Oh, part 5 we have answers to. Who made that? You did.
It came from, that was
Yeah.
one of the.
So we just print, that's why I didn't do it. 'Cause
Yeah.
You could print it out
I just
and
printed
then,
out, that what I see
Yeah.
had it already made.
that's why I didn't write it down. Do that. Alright. And I don't even remember how to say these people's name in,
It's on this slide. Right here. Louis. When I look at that, it reminds me of my aunt and them are from Hawaii. And like in the Hawaiian language, you pronounce every letter. And like Southern language, we have a bunch of letters you just skip over. So like, whenever we would go places, and then I was like, I don't know how to say it, it's like in Lilu Kuani's gardens, I'm like, I don't know how to say that, that's a bunch of vowels together, they say all of them. Say all of them, and I'm like, oh, okay, and when I was reading this, trying to figure out, and then I found the pronunciation in the slides, I was like, oh, it's kinda like Hawaiian, you say all the letters. N-O-V-A-Lu.
I couldn't imagine living up there and then coming down here.
That was so funny, because they moved there when my cousin was like 1, and then she came back and went to college at Southeastern. So like, she didn't have a car or anything, so I'd go pick her up and she would hang out with us on weekends, and then she had a friend that lived in Dallas that would like drive her back home, or back to school. And like, I would just drive around and be like, say that word, say this word, and she could, it was so funny. Now she's a wildlife and fishery agent and has to go to all these like bayou stuff, so she's good now, but
It is a culture shock here.
yeah, well, you know for sure. And you were still in a southern state.
It really is so much different,
Yeah.
like its own little country. Jackie said she got her 2000 or whatever, after the taxes get taken out today. I looked at my bank account, I was like, no ma'am.
Mine's still being held. It depends on your bank. Mine's pending.
Mine's not even pending. Do you want me to make this font bigger since it's 11? If they're gonna underline, or do we, don't care? I just copied it and put it into a table-ish.
Wherever you think it's gonna be needed. I just didn't want it to get too big if we're putting it on a poster
Oh,
up
that's true.
here.
Yeah.
Um,
I figured we would write the important stuff, cause some of these quotes aren't meant for one.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, you're taking the,
So we're gonna do the Venn diagram up here,
Yeah.
where it's the ice, polar bear, or both. And then we're gonna say, on your graphic, this piece of this needs to go to ice, this piece
Okay.
of this needs to go to polar bear. This question 3, how are ice conditions the same or different?
That's why I
than-
didn't,
Like, I didn't have any of the quotes that really went with that.
so what it's,
So is
what
that,
it's
should
asking,
that be like a follow-up question to this?
it's saying that the sea ice is changing there, it's freezing later and melting earlier. This is when, isn't that where we're supposed to get that information from, for this?
Yeah, so I think that one just needs to be
Like at the end,
like a follow-up question. How is this data useful for understanding the effect of changing environment and conditions on polar bears? You don't need to keep that one. That was the number 4.
we heard more specifically about how the ice is changing, we heard about the size and the number of polar bears has changed, we know about different kinds of ice. This is just summarizing everything. How is this useful? It's saying, Basically, we're using these people to give us a more personal connection and like more, like an actual perspective. That's really all how that there was useful. So I don't feel like it's,
So you feel like the second question, useless, but keep,
to me, because technically if the ice conditions are, we need to say that they're different, because the bears have had to move, like number 3, like that's when we kind of figure out bears are having to be on land for longer periods than they are used to,
yeah.
and if they're on land, they can't move fast enough to eat other animals. I don't know how we've learned that yet, we haven't learned that yet.